Oftentimes when we get stressed out, if you notice your breathing, you'll notice that it's a very raspy, sort of shallow breath into your chest, and that's part of your sympathetic nervous system. And that's that fight or flight, that anxiety nervous system. And I mean, it's all part of the nervous system, sure. But breath practice certainly helps to calm the nervous system and engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that calming sensation, restorative, and allows a lot of healing. So this is a breath practice that induces more of a relaxation response. And the first thing you'll want to do is really be aware of belly breathing. And so you can do this lying down if you want to, and that might actually be helpful for you. Lots of times when I start a yoga practice or I guide somebody through a yoga practice, I do this lying down. So feel free to lie down, but I wanted to show you the places that you should be concentrating on in this. It's called dirga pranayama. And the first part is the lower abdominal. And if you're lucky enough, you have a Shih Tzu or two to sit with you. But what you'll need to remember is not forcing your breath, inhale or exhale, just allowing the breath to feed you in the way that it should be. So if you place your hand on your belly just below, so this is the bottom of my ribs right here, and so this is where my diaphragm is. If you place your hand onto that abdomen right there, you notice when you inhale, your organs kind of get pushed out by the diaphragm, and then you exhale and inhale into the belly deep. And then exhale, feel the abdomen go back in. And certainly if you're laying down, you can feel, my dog's gonna cough. If you're lying on the ground, you'll feel the abdomen just kind of sink to the earth, grounding you. And so this is the first part of dirga, 3-part breath. So this is the inhale. This is very calming in itself, and you can practice this on your own. So inhale. And then exhale, inhale, exhale. And then the second part is more of your thoracic. And so if you get a feel for the bottom of your ribs, so your ribs, my ribs end about here, you put your fingers on your ribs and then inhale, and you should feel your ribs and lungs expanding. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, so that's the second part. The third part, you take your thumbs, hopefully you put your deodorant on, and then you just kind of put it underneath your armpits, and then you spread your fingers along your chest. So this is really where your sternum is. And so here is where your sternum is going to be rising. So you feel your collarbones expanding. So you inhale. Feel your fingers draw apart, and exhale. Inhale, feel the top of the lungs expanding, and exhale. So again, you feel your fingers spreading and then coming back together. So this center part of your chest, the clavicle area, this is ultimately just where you feel a little bit more stress, a little bit more energy coming from there. So the key is here in the dirga, so the full volume breath, is to slowly engage, so bring the expansion from your abdominal into the chest and then the upper chest, and then exhale the chest, the middle chest, and then the lower abdomen. Okay, so if you're lying on your back, that's great. But now so you don't need to put your hands exactly where they need to be, but just visualize where your hands were a moment ago. So you inhale into the belly, now into the ribs, into the sternum, and then exhale, sternum, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, sternum. Exhale, sternum, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, sternum. Exhale, sternum, ribs, belly. So this allows you to steady your breath. So ultimately, it steadies your mind, your body, and your spirit. And that's ultimately the goal of pranayama, is controlling the life force and making sure that you're not going too far in any direction, and balancing yourself out, particularly in times of stress. And so now I'm going to go play with my girl dog because she's been antsy. So you can continue on your own. Namaste.